Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is your host Hussain Aftab Shangi here with another podcast episode which has been initiated and produced by Counterpoint, a project by Al Wasila Trust. This has been said and has been proven, and we have observed in our society and in our individual capacities as well, that any form of addiction is a quicksand. So if we talk about pornography, if we talk about drugs, if we talk about smoking, if we talk about stress eating, so all these forms are kind of a response we are giving out, which is somehow driven by some need which is unmet. And in this whole journey, there are a lot of people who given their life, unki recovery nahi ho pati, because recovery itself is a very hard and difficult and tedious process, but a very winning process. But there are few people who are actually able to counter their position, their situation. They fight back, they fall down, they get up, they fight back, they again fall down, they again get up, and eventually they turn out to be a victor from victor. We have an amazing guest with us who is an addiction breakthrough champion who has been involved and indulged into this habit of addiction, drugs addiction, multiple versions of it, and we will actually going to touch base on that. We would like to know about your story. You have been a successful breakthrough champion of drugs. You have been involved into it, but now you are in a position, mashallah, that you are coaching the young ones to get themselves so that they can get themselves out from this mess, from this quicksand, daldal jisko hum urdu mein kehte hain. Pleasure to have you over here.
Pleased to be with you as well. Thank you so much for your channel and for all of your cooperation with the society to help the people who's involved in this thing to get out of it. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you. So we would like to know a little bit about your story. What initiated you to get into drugs? What were the key elements and key substance that you have consumed, and for how long you have been into it? So please tell us something about it.
That started approximately 25 years ago.
25 years.
Yes. At that time I was approximately 21 years old. There won't be always the reasons to get into the drugs, because it's just like a fashion for the young aged guys, girls as well. And when I talk about drugs, it does not mean for sure the right drugs, the severe, the hard drugs. Cigarettes, drugs as well. And there are different type of addiction. Some we call it the chemical addiction, and some we call it the non-chemical addiction.
What are those? Can you please explain?
Okay, chemical addiction is just like heroin. It's very famous. Cannabis, it's drugs, it's chemical drugs as well. Cocaine is chemical drugs as well. Ephedrine, it's chemical drugs as well. But for example, mobile addiction is not chemical.
Okay.
But people, they are addicted to it. We do call addiction for any bad habits. Okay, we are used to, and so that can be addiction as well. But right now I'm talking about the chemical addiction.
Chemical one.
Yeah.
So you started from smoking or some other consumption?
Yeah, actually I started from smoking.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to smoke, then I used to work for some airlines company. In that duration I used to go to different places where alcohol, reach was very easy. And it was served, like in so many places, like outstations, just like Europe and Far East countries, where, like alcohol is just like complementary things. Here I started my,
And what was that moment when you realized that, okay, this is the moment, this is the rock bottom point, this is the breaking point, and I need to make a decision for my own self. What was their realization?
Okay. I was on a stage where I almost came to believe that there is no treatment for addiction. I thought that I lived with it and I have to die with it. Most of my family members, they used to believe the same, until they said to me that we are one family and you are the son of the family, so we will have to accept you the way you are. Actually, their answer was not familiar for me. My life before addiction was, a very good life, very nice life. I was a good sportsman, I was a good student as well. But, I used to miss all these things during addiction. Anyway, that was, a hard answer by the family, that they have to accept me the way I am.
When your family got to know that you are into all of this?
They came to know at the early stage, almost during the first year.
Okay.
Because I started my addiction with heroin right away.
Were they able to see some difference in you, in your behavior, in your conduct?
Yes, of course.
And what was that difference?
I was not caring about anything. Okay. I was not the way I used to be to get my work done. I was not going to work. I was sleeping a lot. I was not eating. I was rude with them. I was harsh with them. And I was violent with everybody, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we get involved into any kind of addiction, be it pornography, be it drugs, be it stress eating, any kind of addiction, be it digital cocaine, that's what we call looking at the screen all the day and scrolling and with our dwindling thumbs. It is actually a response to an unmet need. There is something deep down inside which is not fulfilled. So we are finding another avenue to fulfill that.
Yeah.
Were you going through any kind of a trauma at that time? To shut the inner voices, you have opted for this particular avenue?
I could not get the education I wanted to. Okay. In spite of the fact that my merit was okay and everything was okay. But for some, social reasons. And I was dreaming about to fulfill, goals, to be, someone, well-known, or someone, maybe at that time, according to my level of thinking, that I feel that I did not get what I deserve. So I came to think about money, to be frank with you. Yeah. And then I thought that drugs is, easy way to make myself happy and to get to, be social with the people, know the people. So that was the entry for drugs in my life.
25 years?
Yeah, that was 25 years
You regret
ago.
that?
I regret it big time, to be frank with you, yes. Because they say that, there are so many materials in life, if you lose them, it will be easy to get them back. But there is one thing that you can never get back, which is the time.
True that.
Yeah, the time I have wasted in these things, this is what I feel sorry most. I cannot get it back.
And now you have actually utilized this particular limitation of yours, which was there for last 25 years, and now you have overcome that, and not only have you created a breakthrough for yourself, but now you are actually coaching and guiding the young ones as well.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm doing my I'm trying to be a useful and healthy guideline for the new guys who wants really to quit drugs, because I've been through so many treatments inside and outside, and even some places where do we people consider them as big time advanced people, in medical, line and these things. But I do believe that the first step for any addict, that he or she should be, aware that I'm sick, I'm ill, and I'm a patient, and I need treatment. Because addiction, according to science, it's an illness.
And how long it took you to actually give it up completely?
I've been through a 9 months treatment.
There was a medical treatment?
No, that was psychological treatment.
Okay, here in
Yeah.
Pakistan?
Yeah, here in Pakistan.
Okay, and what were the activities they have actually suggested to you which has helped you to be more empowered in charge of your own life?
You know, actually, quitting the drug, you know, as a using, the problem is not about drugs. Detoxation does not take long time. It does not take more than 15 days to 1 month. The most, you know, critical treatment, it goes to the behaviors. During the addiction, we do adopt a bad behaviors. We don't care, we don't feel about others. We lie, we do all the bad things, okay? Just to fulfill our needs.
So when you see someone, irrationally or somewhere smoking around or drinking or consuming drugs, does it create any urge for you that I want to do that too?
Not now, actually.
Not now?
No, not now.
Okay, so you
Yes.
have actually conquered
Yeah,
that
yeah.
thought and emotion.
Yeah. There are so many things that you have to think about them. I myself, you know, some you know, during treatment, psychologists, they always try to tell us to remember the bad time we spent because of these things like smoking, addiction, whatsoever. But I myself, I do always convince myself in this way, that I ask myself a question: is that necessary to do again? I have been through this experience. I have done all these things. So for me, there won't be anything in you regarding my feelings, regarding my experimentations, and regarding, whatever I have done previously.
As you have been, sir, here in presence as a victor,
Yeah.
someone who has conquered this. If you go back and reflect over the journey of 25 years, you told me that you regret that.
Yeah.
You would have spent that time and energy to something productive.
Yes.
But even now you are using it to your advantage to make this world a better place.
Yeah.
So your pain has actually given you a purpose in life as well.
Yes.
When you were there back then, 25 years old, 25 years back, young, full of life, in that whole journey, who used to provide all of this?
Actually, we always do think about when we need something, we will be thinking about that we have to get this thing. I used to think like that, but actually what I found out that I was actually targeted by those who provide drugs. It's not me who went after them.
Okay.
It's them. It was their mission to sell their stuff. I was thinking, believing that I'm after them, but actually they were after me, and they were after a lot of guys at that time.
And again, when these dealers were after you, how you were able to say no to them?
Actually, this is a good question, and it was very hard to say no to them, because these behaviors, okay, they were with me for, as I have said to you, 25 years. I do say Alhamdulillah that as a human being, there are behaviors that we adopt, but there are something naturals which we call fitrat. These fitrat can never be changed, but Alhamdulillah, as a human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with the things that I can use to change the bad things inside me.
And how's your journey as a counselor is going right now?
I have something inside me that I really want others to be changed, because talking about something is something, and feeling about these things, about this pain, about this loss, about all this bad time, this is something else. Addict knows very well the bad experience about this journey, but the people who just talk about it, when you cannot feel it, you really cannot feel it. You cannot imagine, how hard is it, okay? The doctor who treats you, okay, he knows how to treat you, but he can never know how you feels about it. And I do believe feelings, okay, they are very, something complicated, something is very difficult to understand.
And how do you foresee your life from now onwards?
I do believe that part of this thing should be gone by like helping others, by working with them, by being a guideline for them, by showing them the right way. This is a part of my treatment. This is a part of the 20% which is remained, which I'll have to work for the like the rest.
That's kind of the conscious effort that you need to work on.
Yes.
Otherwise, there is a possibility of getting slipping back.
Yes.
And
anybody can be slipped back.
And this time, if that will going to happen, chances are that as per the psychological studies that has been done, that addiction might going to come back with a vengeance, with more power.
Of course, this is true. This is absolutely true. The more you get treatment and the more you get slept, okay, the more you will lose energy. The more you will be facing, up to the risk of death. Yeah. Death is one of the risk over there. I mean, during sleeping, a lot of people, they died.
They died.
Yeah. During my treatment, I experienced 4 death situations after like being slept. 4 guys were dead in front of me. I mean, they were with me during treatment. They went out. They preferred like going out and not giving more time to work on their behaviors and to get more skills about how to get your self-control.
So was it a natural death or it was a suicidal?
That was overdose death.
Overdose. Okay.
Yeah. They used drugs. I mean, on the normal basis, on the normal basis, they used to. They did not know. I mean, that now they are different. Now they won't be able to carry out the thing they used to. So they were dead.
What message you would like to give to the youth?
Addiction is something that they have to really quit. They must quit because one day they have to quit. So doing it on early age is better than doing it, after spending long time, because it really, I mean, there won't always be a time for them. There won't always be an opportunity for them to be treated from this sickness, I can say, because it's a sickness. And my message for the parents of the guys who use drugs, there is no addict, will be able to quit drugs sitting at home or feeling like it's, because I have faced a lot of people that they feel ashamed to say that we are addict, or our son, our daughter is addict, and we should not be, like facing treatment. We should not be going to the places where do they treat these things. So just try to get the suitable and the right help for your, sons, daughters, the people you love.
Thank you so much for being open and vulnerable, allowing us to actually dig deeper into your story and get the insights, and you were very generous in sharing that. 2 of the key takeaways that I have actually extracted for our viewers, for the reminder. Number 1 is actually you better need to know the reasons of your behavior. If something is actually hurting you down, don't salvage your life to any addiction. Know the reasons and the motives that if you are acting in an abnormal way or something which is creating a deviation from the standard behavior, what is the reason for that? And another one is quit it. End it, because if you're not going to end the addiction, eventually the addiction will going to end you. I'll see you around, inshallah, with another episode of podcast.